morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the High Dragon's Breath, welcoming you back to another lovely set of animation reviews. Today we've got some nice stuff coming on. I decided a little bit non-true to form. We're going to watch some classic Halo content. Now, I am going to give about 10 minutes here for people to get into the stream, so chill on out, sit on down, and wait for those folks to come in. This is going to be a rather long stream. I assume at least an hour, maybe an hour to two, and then there will be other animations afterward, possibly if I still have the energy and if we are still interested in doing so. How's it going, Wallflower? Welcome on back. Glad to see you here. We're going to do the Mona Lisa first, and then I have Midnight in the Heart of Midlothian and Headhunters up after that. So these are all kind of similar themed Halo things, but honestly, the Mona Lisa is my absolute favorite. I love it so much, not only because it's a Flood thing, but also because it's kind of inspiring or inspired by the Aliens franchise, at least a little bit by OG Aliens and Alien. So I'm a big fan of it. I also like how they portray a lot of the stuff, and I'm not sure exactly where it is in the Halo Covenant War, but obviously it is after Reach and after the Ring. So in my opinion, definitely up there as one of the better animations, because most of the cool stuff, let's be honest, happens after the Ring, or after Halo Combat Evolved, if you want to use the games as a timeline. I think one of my favorite things before the Ring is just like the first book, which is Contact Harvest. And I'll be honest, I read Contact Harvest when I was about 14 years old, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Good to hear, yeah. German veteran of the Ukrainian volunteer. It's going to run a 1930s Chinese warlord setting. That is going to rock. That sounds awesome. I don't know why you asterisked Ukraine, but... Oh, is it because YouTube? Did they not let you do that? That's odd. Huh. German war veteran. See, it's always an interesting thing to me when real military people come back and they play RPG stuff, because you know that they have a pretty solid idea or concept of how a lot of this stuff works out militarily, and I've seen it both ways, where some of them are very good at RPGs and they kind of enjoy that. Random political terms, a country's name is a political term. That's hilarious. YouTube censorship for the win. That's dead hilarious. Oh man, you know, we live in a time where that would be the way that things are. So unfortunate, but you know, I appreciate it ahead of time. I'm gonna give them until 45. So if you want to chill out, and if you got any questions for me, I know I just released like 4 videos in a 5-day span. It's been a busy week. It's been a busy week. And what's on top of the busy week is I actually have more videos in the pipeline for either later tonight or tomorrow night. Or tomorrow during the day, but considering what I'm currently drinking, it might be tonight, because this is an interesting cocktail that I've made. Players new to TTRPG, super nerdy, legit military XP. Yeah, Kaiserreich settings version of China. Nice. Kaiserreich. That's is that the game setting? Is Kaiserreich or the game type? Also, the feudal and the warlords era of China is such an absolute shit show, and all of the history is so mixed up and messed up that it often becomes kind of wild with trying to represent it in an RPG, because, let's be honest, like, much like the Taiping Rebellion, we're just talking about people dying in such high numbers. Oh, Germany wins World War One. So that's the old history of Kaiserreich. Okay. There's a couple of ways that would shake out in real life. I mean, the most realistic way is we just get the boundaries of country circa the second year of World War II, before the German invasion of the Balkans. So I guess, you know, second year is subjective, because technically the war, you could say that the war starts in 1936, or in 1935, or in 1937, because if you want to start it at the invasion of Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, or the invasion of Manchuria and China, you could technically start World War II at any of those points, if you wanted to. Kind of the same way that you could theoretically start World War One at the First and Second Boer War, but it's a little bit more difficult because only Britain and a couple of other nations are involved in the Boer War, as opposed to Italy, Japan, and China all being involved in World War Two. So it's hard to pinpoint exactly where World War Two starts, but we generally started at the invasion of Poland in 1939, which, yeah, that's fair. I think when the Allies get formed, that's a reasonable time to start it. But alt history with Germany winning World War One would be very interesting because it would mean that the military junta of our two boys, what are their names? Oh my goodness, Heinrich Ludendorff and who's the other dude? It's Ludendorff and someone. I'm completely losing my mind. Who are the two? They're two generals. One of them will be eventually be in charge of the overall army, and the other one was in charge of some other branch. Uh, Whatever. It's something in Ludendorff. They would have been in charge at the end of the war, because, well, because our buddy Mr. Bismarck would not have been did not retain all that much power at the end of it. So it'd be interesting to see how that shakes out. Ahoy 4 mod, nice. It doesn't like something that you're saying. I'm so sorry. Can you give a general description without using perhaps country names? Because apparently that's something that YouTube really doesn't like. Oh goodness, I wonder if I'm gonna get censored for this now. I've said nothing controversial as far as I know, but what a multi-billion-dollar corporation decides is controversial, and what I decide is controversial as a history person is, I suppose, very different. But then again, I don't have a lot of money riding on this venture, and they do. Gonna give it an extra 3 minutes and let folks get in here. And then we're gonna get started, because admittedly Mona Lisa is a long, long movie, and I don't know when/if my streaming stuff is gonna cut out. I don't think it will. I think, yeah, with the new headphones, and it seems to be doing just fine, the quote-unquote health of my stream seems to be, yeah, excellent connection. We're doing just fine. Ah, goodness. Alright. Yeah. So, 43. We can get in just a tiny bit, I think. Tell me how that is for audio. Let me know if you can hear me over the audio. Good old Microsoft. God. One of the best things that Microsoft ever did was to make all these animations and such. Pyramid Interactive. They were pretty good. These guys are good animators. I've seen a lot of stuff by them. I'm going to turn down my volume just a tiny bit. Turn down my my game volume just a tiny bit. Keep censoring what you try to say. That is dead hilarious. Oh my goodness. Oh man, is there any alternate way around it? Or how about this? You wanna message me on Discord so that I can hear what you're trying to say, and I can repeat it here. I've got my phone right next to me. Just hit me on Discord. Here. Just text it here, and I'll read it out for everyone, so that they can get what you're talking about. Cause yeah, I'm sorry, it has been a little bit of a minute. That's hilarious. I don't know what the word is. I wonder what it could be. For real. That's making it censored over and over again. See, this is like a tester stream to see what YouTube will and will not allow. That's very funny. I'm gonna be honest, there's so many other flavors in what I'm drinking right now, but all that I'm getting is Powerade. And it just tastes like I'm drinking a fruit made out of Powerade. Like somebody hybridized Powerade with a dragon fruit plant, and I'm drinking liquid that. That's pretty much what I'm drinking. Even though it's like a ton of tea and caffeine and gin and all this different stuff, and it just tastes like Powerade. Yeah, not bad. I do like Powerade, but it's just an odd thing that that's the one flavor that comes through. Pretty generic fruit flavor, to be honest, because Powerade just tastes like vaguely technologically masticated fruit. Alright, let's head up. Alright, here we go. Okay, so yeah. It was probably Civil War that they were censoring you for. So I'll read it out. The fun part about Kaiserreich is that the Soviets lose the Civil War, UK and France have revolutions, and the main socialist ideology is trade syndicalist instead of Leninist. Now the British government is in exile in Canada, and France is in Algeria. Lots of fun in this setting. Yeah, that is a very unique set of situations. I think that having France retreat to Algeria is really logical because if you know anything about early 1920s and 30s Algeria, holy hell, was it basically indistinguishable culture-wise from France. There's so much French influence in Algeria that even after multiple years of uprising and conflict and war, they still hold on to French traditions. Like, there's Algerian violence and freedom fighting in these cities that are just French. Like, they're just inherently French. The population speaks French. They go to French cafes. They observe French Catholicism in many cases, but not in every case. Usually they're Muslim. But yeah, it would make a lot of sense for me if the French were pushed off the continent that they would just go to their colonies in North Africa. And honestly, it might actually be better for North Africa, because how it turned out was a very nasty civil war that didn't go very well. The Entente remains in the colonies, kind of a third world power next to TOG Germany and the new Third International. Makes sense. I assume if it's syndicalist, or I assume if it's syndicalist instead of Leninist, that Lenin has died as well. But yeah, either way, interesting. I'll definitely look into that as a mod. I like this. I use this reference image a lot from this, and I know well, we're going to go into the animation. I use this as a reference image a lot because this is what I imagine they pulled out of the space area when they found Konrad Kurz. Oh, he got shot? Yeah, that's about right. Lenin, yeah. Yeah. Lenin, the father of the revolution, always gets shot, no matter what the alternate history. Mostly because it would be hard to prove what Lenin would and would not do, because he keeps going back on his ideology and disagreeing with himself. Initially he's one way, then he's another way. You know, at first he's very political, doesn't want any violence, and then he's all for violence during the Civil War when the violence is good. He's trying to switch regimes, and he's trying to reformulate an entire country, and yeah, he's in a bad way, and it would be very difficult for anyone to claim officially that they knew exactly what Lenin would do if he'd actually survived. So yeah, I use this reference a lot because this is what I imagine they pulled out of the space when they found Konrad Kurz's body for the first time in that stasis pod. Something similar to this, just a giant, like 10-foot tall stasis pod. Granted, the one from the book had a window, but, you know, similar idea. Also, it's weirdly difficult to find, like, an alien escape pod that doesn't look super weird, and that's a great example.
I'm here, Sarge.
Also, you'll notice a lot of these have this kind of moving comic animation style, and I'm a big fan of it. I like this kind of cut-out stop motion animation type deal. Kind of like the paper-thin character. I like this. We got Burgundy, McCraw, and Lopez.
Yeah, you think you're here.
Betty!
McCraw.
Not much to look at, is it?
Is it like a recon pod or something? Am I here to train
Also, I'm gonna turn on closed captioning.
or treat, Sarge? I don't get it.
Is it even out?
So, Trank or Treat, classic one with your, you're getting things out of space, but I also love how this thing is, because you can see it's clearly, like, corrugated and shaped, and you'll learn later that this is, like, a standard escape pod for humans in the Halo future, and I'm like, why? Why is it so weird? Like, this is supposed to be a civilian escape pod, a pretty normal one. It's not really supposed to be something odd. Why does it look like a maggot? Like, it's gross. It's genuinely like a gross shape, and it's all knobbly and shit. I don't know if there's somebody who's like a space scientist who designed this, but to me it just looks kind of odd.
Ours?
Well, it sure is.
Yeah, that's the other thing. He says, "Is this even ours?" And then she says, "Well, it sure as hell isn't Covenant." It doesn't look human. It doesn't look human design. It looks really weird.
Hell isn't Covenant. It's human, but that doesn't mean it's friendly.
Human doesn't mean it's friendly. Assuming, insurrectionists. It's funny to think that the insurrectionists are still going around doing things during the Human Covenant War. It's like, guys, we can't even come together to make, like, the smallest concession when a genocidal alien race is attacking us. Nope. There's still insurrectionists on, like, New Mombasa and other levels in Halo 3 where you see, like, okay, that was clearly probably an insurrectionist at one point, and the the Covenant just glass them. Same thing on Reach. You run into, like, insurrectionist strongholds on Reach out in the farmlands, and it's like, guys, come on. It's been, like, several years since this literal war started. You think you would have come around to the realization that there's a bigger threat.
Don't get sloppy.
So much for a highly classified top-secret hush-hush location. That's a civilian pod.
There we go. So, civilian pod. Assuming, again, putting forth the idea that this is a civilian thing here, which doesn't make sense considering how weirdly it's shaped.
McCraw, look alive. Help me with the stretcher.
Caduceus. Oh yeah, no, the Insurrection is great. I love the Insurrection. Not only because they're the equivalent of Chaos cults in this world, not to toot my own horn, but, you know, Look, I side with the aliens a lot in Halo. I like the Covenant a ton. But I also am a big fan of just any separatist humans in most fictions. As long as they're not siding with aliens. Get that Avatar bullshit out of here. None of that. If you want to betray humanity, you betray humanity for real reasons. Not just because you want to bang a 9-foot-tall blue cat girl. That's not okay.
Still online, sir. We got a live one here.
Step on up, Clarence. Sing, get your...
Hey, classic combat evolved pistol, the PWS, and the MA5B Mizraya Armory's assault rifle. Nice one. I love these.
Team all clear. Sleeping Beauty here is a stranger. Fenty!
32 rounds, baby. So that's the short clips, and you'll notice that the short clips are pretty ubiquitous in these animations, but you'll occasionally see ones that have banana magazines, like the original Combat Evolved one, and yet they're marked as having 32 rounds. So that's just like an issue with what generation of the MA5 you're looking at.
Weapon out and your head out of your ass. Trade is hostile until proven otherwise.
Yeah, the vehicles and animals are great. The humans betraying humanity because they want to get some from 9-foot-tall alien cat girls, not so much. Those people, well, the second movie for Avatar was great because of how incredible the vehicles were. Players play as the Megacorp Mercs? Correct, that's what they... Here's what you do for that. What you do for that is you just make a version of Prey, or of, what is it, Monsters... Yeah, Hunters vs. Monsters. You just make Hunters vs. Monsters into an RPG. Oh yeah, trigger warming blood.
I've got to be going. Woo, smells like shit, Sarge.
Thank you for your thoughtful analysis, McCraw.
Is he... Don't let him get me!
So I love this example because not only is there a smell indicating that this wasn't like a stasis pod, he wasn't like protected. I want to ace combat on Pandora, flying a gunship and firebombing the jungle. There's a lot of good Vietnam sims that'll let you do that, but yeah. I love this because he survived with what is essentially like a laceration down his torso, and you'll see it in a second, but I have no idea how he's still alive after all this time.
Get him out of there, people.
Come on, McCraw, help me out here.
Look at that. He's basically got a cut all the way across his thorax. That's nasty.
Don't let them take me!
He's shooting blood, red, fresh, venal blood out of his lungs. The dude is coughing up from his chest. How do you survive that outside of stasis?
Please, don't let them take me!
There. He's stable.
Can he talk?
Yeah, he can talk. For however long he has left.
See that?
A prisoner? From where?
You're safe now.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Tattooing prisoners. I often think about this in a lot of, like, future dystopias and things, but giving QR codes or scanner or barcodes to prisoners, that feels like something the Imperium would do, 100%. And it would probably be in the same spot, because we actually see the Chaos Forces do this on Garyon, which is one of my absolute favorite pieces from that. They have a small chaotic organism, some sort of modified grub or parasite, that they put inside of a human's arm, for people called the Accepted, which is essentially locals who are friends of the cult. And they use it to indicate whether you can come outside or not during certain times of day. So yeah, essentially it works like a chip. Yeah, it works like a chip, but it is a living, chaotic organism or parasite. And they use it to identify, like, friends of the occupation and enemies of the occupation. It's a really interesting concept. It's something that I'm going to work on with Corrupt Contenders, is trying to make something similar to that, so that we can set up our own prison camps. And also, of course, so Garyon can end up the way that it is in the Blood Pact book. Or not in the Blood Pact book, in the Trader General book.
You're Marines. UNSC, right?
What's
Well, you say if you could chip a dog, you could chip a prisoner, but human beings' physiology is a lot different from a dog. We have a lot less loose skin, unless you're really, really heavy than they do. We also don't have fur. So there are things that you can do to a dog that you can't do to a human. And I think the issue with chipping, and one of the reasons why you don't want to do it in the modern day, is because there's a high risk of infection, if I remember right.
your name? What ship are you from?
I don't know where we are.
What is the name of your ship?
Mona Lisa.
What?
The Mona Lisa. You don't know, do you? You don't know.
I don't know because you're not telling me. Tell me, and we'll get you to the infirmary and get you some sleep. What is your name?
I tell you all kinds of things. I know. I'm dying. I know. But that's okay. It's okay. Because I won't come back. I'm clean. I can't come back.
Oh yeah, it's incredibly good voice acting. Honestly, this movie is so good, which is why I'm going to let a lot of it run, not only so that I don't waste time, but also just so that you can appreciate how good this movie is.
What do you mean you won't come back? What do you mean you won't come back? Come
Fuck this AI.
back from what? Come back from what?
Calling it?
God, seriously, what an iconic image this is. I love it so much. This is such a useful image for all types of RPG stuff, for reference material. It's so good.
At 0638. Come on, all you big, strong men. Let's get him to forensics.
Is the audio all good for you, Wallflower? I'm gonna let the next clip play. So, again, this is a Microsoft Studios thing. No matter how you feel about Microsoft purchasing Halo, you know, I have my opinions. I played Halo during the 343 era and during the Microsoft era. I have backs and forths. The first game I played was Halo 4. I know people have very strong opinions about that, but like many of my other takes, I like certain games that other people don't, and movies as well. Like some of my favorite Star Wars movies, most people really hate. I'm a big fan of Attack of the Clones and of The Phantom Menace. I like both of those. Do I think they're the best Star Wars movies? Depends if you want to look at it via, you know, certain lenses. In my opinion, they're my favorites. But in my opinion, things like Halo 4, they had a chance to be really, really good, and sometimes they were really, really good, and then the subsequent games made them look worse in their canon, and then better in comparison. So when people played Halo 4, other than me, they hated it. They thought it was terrible in comparison to the first games. Okay, fine. Fine, that's okay. But then Halo 5 came out, and everyone was like, welp, this is terrible. And but all of a sudden, Halo 4 is not looking that bad anymore, is it? So yeah, let's continue. We're in the damaged area of the rings. You can see a broken UNSC cruiser here, the ring in the background, and a massive debris field. I don't think this is the Pillar of Autumn, but it might be. Come on, you already got your highlight reel. Let's go. When's Halo gonna make a horror game involving the Flood? Yeah. Yeah, this does prove that the idea would work, I agree. Hey, Sparty, holy shit, I haven't seen you on this stream before. How you doing, big dog? But yeah, the reason that making a horror game involving the Flood would be a problem is that the Flood are basically work off of a lot of numbers in many cases. And it would be really hard to make a game using them that didn't just feel incredibly difficult. Because it would feel like a mix between Alien Isolation and Aliens Colonial Marines. Except you wouldn't have nearly the firepower in Aliens Colonial Marines. There's another, hot take that I have. I love Aliens Colonial Marines. I know people don't. They prefer the new one. I loved the old Aliens Colonial Marines. I loved it so much. I played that shit forever. It's one of my favorite games, because I'm a huge fan of PvE, and Colonial Marines is awesome. There you go! See, I'm not alone. Forever, I was listening to people shit on Colonial Marines. Forever. I loved Aliens Colonial Marines. The story was great, the guns felt great, all those legendary and special weapons were awesome, the game was dark and gritty and frickin' hard, like, really difficult, especially on the Xbox 360, which is what I had it on. It was tough as nails to play on higher difficulties, and there were all these challenges. It was like Halo again, but with, slightly worse graphics and in a different setting. Glad to hear you're doing good, Sparty. Yeah, I adore the ship I like some of the ship designs. I like the Covenant designs a lot. I like the whole kind of flexibility that they use their power systems as a weapon. I like that a lot. I think the human ships are very, realistic, and I like that. Yet another game, added to my future TTRPG games. Hey, look, I'm already working on bringing Corrupt Contenders and Battlefleet Solar to you guys in little spoon feeding so that I have enough content for later on in my life. But yeah, believe me, if you want to demo some frickin' TTRPG game stuff, I'll absolutely do it with you. All you have to do is send me a link to some Google Docs or whatever. I'll gladly look at shit, or I'll make it myself and send it to you. Yeah, I love the different ship designs. They're great. I like the consistency between the Covenant ships as well. So this is a Red Horse, or the Red Horse. It's one of the Oni spook ships. It's like a big old sloop. Spent 30 minutes. It's only 5 minutes in. Must be a High Dragon stream.
Halo. What's left of it, at least.
Yeah, we reminiscing on the
I'm
past.
not sure why we're here. They claim it's for recon and recovery, and we've spent the last 3 days scouring through the debris field.
3 days is not that bad in space.
What are they looking for?
At ease, Sergeant. Anything new to report?
No, sir.
What about you, Rebecca?
The pod was launched 6 hours ago from the Mona Lisa, a prison transport. I backtracked and calculated the ship's approximate location at the time of the launch, as well as where it should be right now.
These the coordinates?
Yes, sir.
I also like the idea that there's a Covenant carrier just hanging out around the debris field of Halo. Because if you remember from the first book, whenever the Covenant come across either human technology or lost Forerunner technology, their little deacons in their ships light up and go crazy, basically indicating that there's a billion relics nearby. So I would definitely imagine a capital ship just being like, holy shit, there's so many things to look at here. We gotta leave an actual capital ship behind to actually go and do recovery here. And they've probably been here since the ring was destroyed. So it's not unreasonable that one of those ships would be here. Also, the Covenant have a massive navy, so.
And I'm guessing we didn't pick this ship up because of the debris.
That is correct, Commander. This is a typical schematic for a ship of this type. They're converted freighters for transporting prisoners and ore between colonies. The bridge is situated here.
Ah, you can see a lovely cross-section of a standard kind of freighter ship, one of the few sci-fi factions. I don't think so. There are very few Covenant ships that rival Imperial capital ships in terms of firepower. Also, in terms of numbers, I would say that the Imperium has them beat. Because if you want to look at Covenant ships that rival them in firepower, you're looking at the very specialized ones. Ones like those kind of X super battleships. And there's only a few of those within the Covenant arsenal. There's a lot of standard battleships, and there's a lot of heavy cruisers. Yeah, the super carriers. The super carriers are the ones that I'm talking about. Those and the super battleships, those would stand up to Imperial battleships. But I would say that a Grand Cruiser against a standard Covenant battleship isn't an impossible fight. Oh yeah, the Covenant has a lot of carriers, but so does the Imperium, to be honest. There's a lot of specialized, even capital ships, like you saw in my capital ship videos, that are just carriers. And a lot of Imperial aircraft are on par with their Covenant equivalents. Some of them, in my opinion, are even better, but, you know, they're at least on par.
At the top. The prison cells are down below.
But I love the freighter. I love this. So it's the kind of input point and then the prison cells. Look how complicated these things are. All of this is the Shaw Fujikawa drive to allow it to enter slip space. But you can see how it's strung out along the entire rear of the vessel, keeping it nice and thin. I like that. I like this design. Very heavy up front, very thin in the rear, because nobody wants to be near the engines. That makes a lot of sense.
Most prison ships have minimal defenses and firearms on board as a precaution against a riot. They typically rely on an escort in those situations. But the Mona Lisa doesn't appear to have one. At least not anymore.
What would a prison transport be doing at the most significant alien discovery of the past 20 years?
That I can't tell you, sir.
Because you don't know, of course.
A random slip-space jump to evade the Covenant?
That'd be quite the coincidence.
Yeah, her claim that the Cole Protocol resulted in one of these ships ending up in literally one of the most important locations in space is dumb as hell. And it's not surprising that he calls bullshit on it.
What do you think, Sergeant?
I'm not paid to think, sir.
Yes, sci-fi. USG Ishimura. Ah, yes, the USG Ishimura.
Was there anything else he said? Anything at all that could give us context?
He just kept saying that he was safe and that he wouldn't come back.
Delusions. Brought on by dehydration and his injuries, no doubt.
Who the fuck asked you, Rebecca?
I'm inclined to finish the post-mortem, stow the body, and carry on with our mission.
Might I ask what exactly our mission is, Commander? What are we doing out here, sir?
What the Commander means is that he wants you to take a squad out to the ship and investigate.
Shut the fuck up, Rebecca. Who the hell asked you? Seriously, this is one of the things I can't get over. In this entire animation, this whole movie, this AI is such a bitch. She's just such a massive bitch for the whole time, for no reason. I know there's a legitimate reason. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but how did no one put 2 and 2 together and realize that this AI has problems? Yeah, sci-fi civilian ships are great. Yep, mining ships are good. Space technical. Space technical. See, Sparty knows a thing or two about space technicals. One of his buddies recently made a bunch of fire ships for Corrupt Contenders. It's gonna be a big fight soon. Nothing happens to the Ishimura. Shut up, you.
Is that what I mean, Rebecca? You're new on this ship, so I'll excuse you this time.
Also, new on this ship. How the hell is she an old AI and she's being transferred to a new ship? That does not make a lot of sense.
But do not state your assumptions as fact.
Yes, sir.
She is, however, correct.
See, here's the thing. I one day I want somebody in Corrupt Contenders to get a space yard as a regular cult. I know in Corrupt Contenders we're gonna get our hands on them right now because we're the Blood Pact, but if you ever jump in and get to a campaign, please start on a planet that has some either spaceport facilities or naval shipyard facilities, and please start fucking around with the ship designs, because I think that's awesome, and nobody's really done it yet, because no one's had the free time to do so.
Rebecca will coordinate from here.
Anyone's welcome to start a campaign, by the way. We have a kind of a tester zone.
Yes, sir.
Good luck, Sergeant. Dismissed.
You're free at any time to do so. All you have to do is message me on Discord. There's an open server with various planets, and I can teach you how to play on the short level, or you can do the full thing. So, yeah. Plenty of options. Anyone's welcome, really. As long as you're, a subscriber and you've been part of the Discord and streams. As long as I know who you are, you're welcome.
We have our orders, Commander.
Do you know what's on that ship? I don't like being kept in the dark, especially when it comes to deploying my troops.
It's only recon, sir.
It's only recon. That's what they
Original
always
mission
say.
was only recon.
Sounds good. Glad to have you.
Up for us.
We're at war, Commander. Reach has fallen. Our backs are against the wall. Extreme measures are necessary to ensure our survival.
Is that all we're fighting for now? Survival.
Yes, that is all you're... Dude, you're looking out over the remains of what ran away from your most powerful naval vessel area other than Earth. Other than Earth, Reach is the most powerfully held planet, and you're looking at the remains of what fled from Reach. Yes, the only thing you're fighting for now is survival. Get your head out of your ass. I know it's a good line, but get your head out of your ass. This dude is not doing a very good job at mopping the floor. He's literally just spreading the blood around. What a dickhead. I love the musical score to this movie. It's so good. Okay, we get it, we get it, we get it. Come on. Oh, you're about to see some cool shit pictures. Hold up. These are great ones. Behold, the red horse. Look how fancy this is. It's like a little sloop. It's so cute. It looks like a dog. Pelican! Pelican! Yeah, it's adorable. Honestly, I love the little sloops. They look so much cuter than the 40K version. Big ass piece of the ring. I love this. Burgundy, because her hair is red. Boom. What a classic outline for a civilian ship. Big old protections from asteroids. Pelican! 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 And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, 9 are thrusters. Just crazy, crazy big. And you can see all the protection as well. I love these because if you know anything about building spacecraft, back in the day, we would have these kind of sacrificial layers, and I think we kind of still do. Sacrificial layers in case of micro-asteroids traveling through space, and they would hit these kind of outer panels and be deflected away from the main ship, which I like. That's kind of how we still do it. And the whole thing with Halo is it's supposed to be canonical to our real world. You know, outside of the Covenant existing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the Covenant do exist, who knows. But it's supposed to be canonical to our real world. So this is supposed to be something that we're able to do in about 500 years. Which, considering the expansion of human technology, that's not actually all that unreasonable. The whole point is the only thing separating us from Halo is the Shaw Fujikawa drive.
coming up, front and center, Sarge. Trying to raise her now.
10-4, Burgundy. All right, folks. Introduction.
Look at all those kill markers. Holy shit. I always wondered for the UNSC if the kill markers are supposed to mark any Covenant enemies or if they mark elites specifically. Because if they mark elites specifically, holy shit, that's like 18 kill markers. That's insane. But if they just mark any enemies, that could be 18 grunts. In which case, that's not much.
Since some of us are strangers. Up in the front, Burgundy's got the wheel, and Rabbit's riding shotgun.
Rabbit. Love Rabbit. What a good name.
That tough-looking son of a bitch on the end there is Clarence.
This is a
Next to
trustworthy
him is
person.
Good Dr. Benty. Then Singh is providing tech, and on the end is McCraw, who's new.
Also, Space Irishman, McCraw. They do have him as Mac, though, instead of MC. So it's Macraw instead of McCraw. But they say it wrong. Classic sci-fi issue. No problem with us getting any kind of science fiction tech except FTL, which is needed for the rest. Yep. It is a classic sci-fi issue. Honestly, there's a lot of ways around it, but you can also just put the number way far ahead of time, because there's certain fictions like Alien that didn't really go far enough out, where it's like, by the year 2100, we will have mining colonies on different worlds, and it's like, okay, we're a while away from that. I'm not saying that a grunt isn't a threat. Even the plasma pistol is still a threat. You know, it can penetrate light armor and stuff like that, but I'm saying that killing a grunt is not all that hard.
As you can see. Then we have Orlov providing intel, and Mahmoud, Sardikos, Gurston, and Cranker offering field support.
Bro, imagine your name as a Marine being frickin' Cranker. This man is cranking hee-haw. He cranking his haw. He cranking it. He be cranking his haw. Dude, you would never see the end of the teasing if you were in the modern U.S. Marines and your name was fucking Cranker.
I'm Sergeant Lopez.
Yes,
right
he
now, All
was.
report to me. You clear? This was the team. My rosary beads.
Yeah, so they wrote kind of a story related to this, but a lot of them are actually space Catholics. So she's got her rosary.
Each and every
Yeah,
one.
he cranking for the fun of
I'm
it, for
already
real, for real.
counting them And hating myself for doing it. This is bullshit.
She's such a good vet. I love this portrayal of a Marine veteran of the Human Covenant War. So good.
Beaks, what's the word?
She's not answering on any frequency, Sarge. Can't get a peep out of her. No distress beacon. She's cold.
And I don't think her engines have been running for a while. She ain't pretty either, not by half. I'd never date her.
How the postmortem?
Different, but still there, 100%. Also, I'm not gonna lie. Burgundy is adorable.
Go. Ask Sardikos.
No idea why the Doctor has a bunch of lip gloss on, though. That's some really hot red lipstick to have during a combat mission.
He did the autopsy, and then they put him on the mission.
No. I want to hear it from you.
Nasty wounds.
She's adorable. I don't know what to tell you, but the pilot is cute as hell.
Whatever
Yes, combat lipstick
that
based.
opened him up wasn't a blade.
Yeah, whatever opened him up wasn't a blade.
It took a hell of a lot of force to do that kind of damage.
Like what?
Not sure. I'm guessing that.
You know what she's thinking. You know she's thinking energy sword. You know damn well she's thinking energy sword. You have only missed about a half hour or the first 12 minutes of Mona Lisa, Bone Man. We still haven't gotten to the fun part, so come along with us. Violent dubstep wubs.
That when you're breaking out of prison, you use whatever you can get your hands on. It was
Yeah, so she's like, oh, it's a prison riot, right? And then the veteran Marine is like, oh, fuck, it's an energy sword. PTSD.
a prison riot, right?
Doesn't matter. You honestly expect some punk-ass jailbird to get a shiv in one of us?
See, this is always my reaction, because a lot of people say, like, oh, the U.S. military isn't prepared for riots or insurgents in the United States. Motherfucker, do you know what the Marine Corps did when Alcatraz Island went under the control of rioters? The Marine Corps invaded Alcatraz and didn't lose a single man and got that shit under control in like a day. It's like, yeah, no, you really expect some punk-ass jailbird to get a shiv in one of us. Do not mess with the Marine Corps, be it the Marine Corps of the far future or the Marine Corps of the modern day. They are not to be fucked with.
You doubting the Corps, Private?
It was one hell of a shift, sir.
This is the UNSC Red Horse. Do you copy, Sergeant?
Are we going to watch Halo Legends? Well, that depends. I have Midnight Heart of Midlothian and Halo Evolution's Headhunters up on here. I just picked my favorites. So, if we get through Mona Lisa, which is my #1 favorite, we will move to those two.
Lopez, Rebecca.
But yes, at some point we will watch Legends as well.
We picked up a Covenant ship in the vicinity. Distant, but we have to tread carefully.
Watcher Halo anime? What's that? I don't know what that is.
The commander has ordered that we maintain as much contact with your crew as possible. But we mustn't
Storm the Alcatraz like they stormed most of Central America. Well, actually, they were a lot quicker than with most of Central America.
reveal ourselves. You may be on your own for a while. You have your orders.
I also like I like the Halo animes as well, but I didn't watch them entirely. I'm watching this because I know everything that's going to happen, and unlike the Warhammer animations, I've basically memorized the Mona Lisa, because I watch this on the, like, Halo anniversary every single year, and I've been doing that for 6 years. So I've watched this once a year, every year, for 6 years. So I know it front to back. Yeah, YouTube is cringe. Sorry, that's just how it is.
Sergeant. Roger that. Check in with Burgundy once we're on board.
Oh God, no! I'm not making you watch the Halo show. Jesus, I'm neither a masochist nor am I a sadist. Why would I do that to you? I like you guys. Why would I want to inflict pain on you? I'm not watching the Halo show. Yeah, that's cruel and unusual punishment. I'm here to entertain. Jesus. She's adorable. She's so cute. I love her. I don't know why. She's so cute.
They just happen to randomly guess the slip space coordinates? I mean...
Yeah, don't even say stuff like that. Don't scare us. Don't talk about the Halo show right now.
We don't even know where we are, and we're supposed to be here.
Don't try to be smart, McCraw. It's not what you're paid for.
No, they pay us to be pretty.
Damn right.
The sexual tension between these two is disturbing.
They pay us to be pretty and to shoot straight. So tighten up, folks. What?
Well, expect Lorgar. I think you mean accept. Oh yeah, Halsey. I don't know. See, here's the thing. I understand Halsey. I may not like her, but I understand why she did what she did. She saw into the future in a way that a lot of other people didn't. Rather, an actual flood invasion? Jesus. I wish they had added the flood into the Halo TV show. I think that would have both made it R and made people like it more.
What do we get for being pretty, Sarge?
You kids play your cards right. We'll all get some shore leave when this is done. Don't ever say Mama Lopez does nothing for you.
Don't ever say Mama Lopez does nothing for you. This has such 1980s, like, buddy cop military show vibes, because it's so pulling from the Aliens movie. And I don't even care. I loved Aliens, and I love this even more.
Docking override in progress.
Oh yeah, they are the peak of the greater good.
Hang tight, folks.
Docking in progress. It looks like the Pelican is flying sideways. It's very funny. It's just kind of to the left. Yeah, I didn't even care enough to watch past the first episode. I saw the first episode and I was like, oh no. I also saw that they took off Master Chief's helmet and I'm like, fuck you people. Do you know how hard it was to catch a glimpse of Master Chief's face? You had to beat Halo 4 on Legendary. Do you know how long it took me to do that? It took me over a year to beat Halo 4 on Legendary with the skulls on. Over a year. And I had help. I had my buddy to help me. And it still took me over a frickin' year. Oh my god. Dude, Gun Tuna, you are a fucking G. That is such cool art. Yo, anyone who's on the Discord, go check out the artwork and references. He just posted some based shit. Sorry. Just look at the Tau. Want to throw Omni and Halsey into a wood chipper? I think the Tau have some uses. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. One day, in the future, the Tau will be Chaos Worshippers. And as a result, I think they should stick around.
We're solid, Sarge. On your mark. Good. Let's go.
Alright, so we've got the shotgun with an extended magazine, a fucking massively extended magazine, MA5B, MA5B, MA5B. Possibly an MA5B HA in her hands. She might have the one with 60 rounds.
Give me lights. Come on, Marines. Get your heads on straight and move out.
I also love the Halo, like, glasses heads-up display. Because if you just put the helmet in, this is basically what Scions see. They have, like, a little targeter in their helmet that helps them see where their gun's pointed. See? Oh, here we go. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. 60-round magazine on Cranker's MA5B HA. We've got a full-sized Halo Combat Evolved banana magazine in there. This is what I was talking about. Some of them have it, some of them don't.
Cranker, up periscope. Tell us what you see.
See, I love how she says up periscope is just like code for stick your fucking head out there. Up periscope. Look around the corner, dipshit.
Looks all clear.
Clear my ass.
Shh. This is Sergeant Lopez of the UNSC Marine Corps. Identify yourselves immediately.
See, imagine the balls to just do that in a place where you have no idea what the hell is going on. Just, I am the UNSC. I fucking love wasting ammo. Behold what a naked elite looks like. Money shot. Yeah, I love this. The purple blood with the elites is just hilarious, because it's like, oh crap. Like, everything in for the Covenant is purple, so if you just get covered in purple blood, you'll look like one of them, which is funny. Could live without seeing a nude elite? Well, too late. There's our buddy Sardico, or no, not Sardicos, Clarence. See, this is a question I always have. Excuse me. This is a question I always have. Because these are supposed to be prisoners of war. They're supposed to be soldiers. Some of them might be female. Because there is always the question of, like, what does a female elite look like? Because we've never seen Sanghelios. We have no idea necessarily what they look like and if they have any sexual dimorphism from the males. So some of these could be women. We don't know. Probably not, but they could be.
Marines, report. We have 4 dead coveys here.
We got 2, Sarge.
Orlov?
No. No sign of the crew either.
What's the status?
Interesting outfit the Covenant are running here. No weapons, no gear. You think they're running out of money?
Maybe we can buy them out?
Shut it, McClaw.
You're thinking we can buy them? You think we could buy them out? They're running out of money? Hilarious.
Where's Rabbit?
Rabbit, report in.
Rabbit is... See this? I don't get this. Rabbit is a co-pilot. Why is Rabbit even in this initial scene. Like, Rabbit should probably be in the ship still, no offense.
She was with me. We wasted that dog over there, and then she said she heard something.
Burgundy, you've got a lovely way with words.
Yeah, I agree with that, but this is also, yeah, this is shortly before Halo 3. Yeah. Also, it's not like elites have any visible genitals, so that's not really a problem for them to be nude for the most part. But yeah. But here's the thing, they're also captured from ships and from other areas. It is not said that there are no female elites within the entirety of all the Covenant ships. You know, they're not just military personnel, obviously, because the Prophets travel on these ships. So there could theoretically be other civilians of the Covenant, the same way that there are civilians on UNSC ships as well. So that was like my theory. I was like, you know, since this is supposed to be a capture of prisoners and possibly civilians, it's possible some of those are female elites.
Words. Talk to me. Sorry, Sarge. Can't raise the Red Horse right now. And this ship smells. I mean, it really smells.
Does she not look like... sorry, this is more for Sparty. Does she not look like Zell on the other server? Sorry. Yeah, you'll see what I mean in a bit. I'll send you the image.
Cranker, you're on guard duty. Stay with Burgundy.
Yes, sir.
The rest of us are going rabbit hunting. Move out.
I think this color suits me.
Really brings out your eyes. I got lead. You take the rear, Venti.
I just want to point out the ironic euphemism of "you've got rear, Benty."
Oh, man. There was a lot of blood in the hangar, too. Easily enough for a few people to have bled out. I didn't see any bodies.
No small arms fires or plasma burns either.
Maybe the Covenant really are running out of money.
McCraw, one more lame joke out of you and I'll push you out the next airlock.
Rabbit, do you copy? Rabbit!
POV, you have made a poor decision on the New York City subway.
Benty, what'd you see?
Sergeant Jackson, man among men. Look, if you don't think that Marines flirt in combat, Marines flirt with other Marines in combat.
Contacts. Were they armed?
No, I don't know. Not sure. Cranker, Covey's coming your way. They may be armed. Copy?
I copy. Ready and waiting.
Sarge, what are you doing?
How about you do something useful and give me some light, damn it? What the hell?
You recognize this, Benty?
Yeah, it is quite a while since I played some Halo, but it is fun.
Benty, never seen it before. It's not
Tentacle.
from an elite, and it sure as hell isn't human.
Cranker, talk to me.
Covey's never showed, Sarge. Wait a second. My God!
What? Cranker! Call it out!
God!
Yeah, homosexual is 100% the term. Like, especially, don't touch the space crab leg, but I wanna touch the space crab leg. Yeah, homosexual is 100% a good descriptor for the Navy and for the Marines as well. For the Marines, it's the same kind of homosexual that you get in, like, prison. It's not necessarily in good taste, if you know what I mean. It's been a long time since Chesty Puller was in the Marines. Hey, see, it is the Pillar of Autumn. I was right. What's left of the Pillar of Autumn? I get the sense of dread filling my stomach. Ah, yes. That means it's a good movie. I'm gonna let it play a little bit more and stop pausing because I'm wasting time. I apologize.
Identify yourself.
Dr. John Smith, Chief Medical Officer of the...
Oh, John Smith, how generic of you.
You can lower your weapons.
You didn't even say please.
Please?
Yeah, please. We've got bigger guns.
I am not the enemy. Lower your weapons.
How'd you end up in this room? What happened?
What do you think happened? A ship like this, only one thing can happen. Prisoners broke out, overwhelmed the guards, and took over the ship. Lucky for me, I was in here when it all went down.
That's the story, huh?
It's not a story. The prisoners escaped and took over the ship.
You know, you're the first person we found. You might be the only human survivor on this ship.
The only human?
Uh-huh. Go to it, Marines.
Yes,
Policy
only good
dictating
things
covenant
happened on the
prisoners
Pillar of
change,
Autumn,
Smith.
obviously.
I don't think we got that memo.
It wasn't a widely circulated memo.
No shit.
Look, I'm just...
I don't understand why we didn't take Covenant prisoners. For real. I mean, just to understand their language, we should have taken them prisoner. I mean, for the U.S. during World War II, we had a bunch of Japanese code breakers who were Japanese Americans willing to use their knowledge of the Japanese language to try and break Japanese code. If you're in a situation where you're fighting an enemy who you can't even begin to speak their language, and we know this since Contact Harvest, why would you not capture them? Grunts are cowards. Apes are stupid. They can get injured. They can get wounded. Get them captured. Like, I don't understand why we didn't take more prisoners.
It's the medical officer. I don't set policy. I just set broken bones and clean wounds. That's all.
What would the Mona Lisa want with Covey prisoners anyway?
For intelligence, I guess. Research and development. Know your enemy stuff. It's a war. You know that. You're a soldier, right? I don't know. I'm just a medical officer.
I'm just a medical officer is the most bullshit thing I've ever heard.
What's the Mona Lisa?
Yeah, the
doing?
Covenant, if anything we've learned from the later series, so I have no fucking idea how the Covenant remained unified
Why don't you tell me the last
for so
place you
long.
were, then I'll tell you if you're still there.
Didn't you come here to rescue us? Am I under arrest or something?
You have access codes to the bridge?
Yeah, Thel Vadami, or Thel Vadami, he should have been an Imperial not Imperial, Jesus, a UNSC ally long before he betrayed the Covenant. And Thel Vadami got absolutely just dumpstered in Halo 4. He was such a good enemy, and then he basically got killed off in a cutscene. I was pissed about that, because he was so good. Jackals, they'll work for anyone. Like, Jackals work like Loxodl. I don't know why we didn't have them on our side. Yeah, and then of course there's the stupid lore with the new Halo Wars thing, creating Atrocitus or whatever that dude's name is, and creating like, oh, this idea that the Brutes were already in rebellion by the time that the Covenant got to Earth. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, we couldn't have dealt with them. They learned the human language faster than we learned theirs.
We're off a planet called Threshold, and we've got Covenant loose on the ship. We're following Cole Protocol, taking out the nav system on the bridge.
No, we need to get off the ship. You came here somehow, right? We need to get off the ship.
Sorry, but that's not an option. We're going to the bridge, and you're coming with us.
God, I love the Cole Protocol. It's a good book, and it's a good idea. If you don't know, the Cole Protocol is this idea that if any UNSC ship is considered compromised, or there's a chance that it falls under, yeah, Brutes were horribly handled. I think they could have been much better. I like how they worked in Contact Harvest, but that was a very unique situation designed to set up Tartarus as this new leader. But Thel Vadami, I think, was treated so much worse. Valme has penalty of reason to hate humanity. Yeah. Yep. Thel Vadami, yeah. Thel Vadam is the arbiter. But... oh, shoot. What was it? Yeah, sorry. Cole Protocol. Genius idea. Essentially, it's the thought that if anyone's going to get captured, you jump in a random direction to make sure they don't get the location of Earth. She just reminds me of, like, Ziggy Stardust and,
Oh, thank Christ.
Carmen Electra and all those, like, 80s heartthrobs. She's so pretty. I love Burgundy. People forget the UNSC is heavily controlled by military personnel. It isn't a straight military junta because there is a civilian government on Earth. And there's also organizations like the ONI, the Office of Naval Intelligence, who work outside of the military agreement. But no, it isn't a military junta until, like, the original government essentially gives over to the military. So it doesn't start out that way, no.
Franco, come on, get in here now!
Rip Burgundy.
We got plan B?
This was Plan B.
Hang on. I'll find the other way.
Shine your light down here.
Sewers.
Bilges. They're the same in every ship.
Foucault would be pissed to hear you say that about the Red Horse.
Well, he ain't here.
Bro, there's a ladder. Why did you have to jump like 10 feet? I'd be so scared of breaking my ankle.
It's in this direction.
Also, I love how, yeah, bang on it with your rifle, but also these are bullpups, so there's not a lot of stock for you to actually hit it with. You're kind of smacking it with your recoil spring and your magazine release. That just seems kind of likely to break your rifle. So also one of the reasons why you don't use the MA5B to melee.
So we'll do this real careful.
I've been in the shit before. This is ridiculous.
Shut it. You hear that?
Elite noises.
What the hell was it?
Not Covenant. Let's keep moving.
The sound of combat forms, baby.
Where are we going?
Maintenance storage room. 50 meters.
We're gaining.
40 meters.
We're not gonna make it.
Secure the junction ahead.
So, they don't all have bayonets, but there are bayonet attachments for certain rifles in the UNSC, but not a lot.
Ow! We're too close to the house.
Here they come!
God damn, what a nasty range of combat forms. We got a human with one clearly embedded in its chest. We've got the classic elite with one embedded in its shoulder. And then we've got some sort of horrible amalgam. Yes, this area seems a bit flooded.
My God.
We're gonna skip a bit ahead because I'm tired of seeing the episode intro. Oh, what a lovely thing that somebody has on their office counter. Well, they're space marines, quote unquote. Where's Isaac Clarke when you need him? Probably somewhere else. Honestly, when I first saw this, I thought that was a copier machine, and I was like, yeah, that's about right. That's what happens when I try and fix the copier machine, but it's a cabinet.
Sarge, what the hell is that?
Well, McCraw, that there is a hand.
No, I mean, what the hell is that?
John. Can I call you John? I think you know what this shit is. And I think you're gonna damn well tell me what it is.
Okay. Probably experiencing horrible space schizophrenia. Yep. So, here's one thing I want to mention just in relation to 40K. Plague Marines should work like the Flood. It's always been my opinion that Plague Marines in animations and in books go down way too easily. If you look back at the original Plague Marines, like Ignatius Grulgor, they're dead at the start of the process. Killed. Head basically split in half. And then when they come back, they basically have to get filled with explosives and absolutely obliterated in order to die. The Flood and a Plague Marine should have equal levels of durability, except the Plague Marine is armored.
Reloading.
Yeah, I think the theory with New Mombasa is that it's kind of an expanded megacity like a proto-hive.
Nonsense!
It's kind of cute how slow the Flood are in this animation. I guess it's because they're starving. But, you know, whatever.
Snap out of it, soldier.
Yeah, for real, if the Flood... So that's the thing, if the Flood were in 40k, they would get co-opted by Nurgle so fucking quick it would make your head spin.
Fall back to the maintenance room. We lose this spot. They're going to swamp us. We stay here, they swamp us sooner. No more jabber. Get going.
So that's the first time that we see infection forms. And you can see that the infection forms in this are much more solid than they are in Halo Combat Evolved. They have a conical body, and then this exterior part is like a jelly-like bag or sack of air that helps them move. And honestly, I prefer this version of the infection form. Well, they're Hollywood mags, but also they're 60-round mags in some cases, so it's not really that bad. But yes, I see what you mean. You're not you when you're hungry? Fuck you. But yes. Throwing grenades in ship is a bad idea, but that's why most naval armsmen don't have grenades. No, they are cased ammunition. 100% they're cased ammo. Also, by the way, cased ammo doesn't make the ammunition smaller. I want you to know that. Cased ammunition doesn't make it smaller, it just makes it more uniform in size, so it's not circular. Yeah, the Flood, the ones that are conscious, are consistently miserable, so good point. This is why you don't throw grenades on a ship. By the way, in the lore, this thing that stabs her, I'll show you in a minute. It's apparently a unique Flood form that we only see in this animation. Because of something that you'll see later. This thing here, this is apparently a completely unique Flood form, which is nice. I thought it fired 223, though it might be 7.62. It definitely is armor piercing, whatever it is. Rest in peace, Sardikos.
She's bleeding bad.
We have to get her out of here now.
Yeah, so that is unique. That has not happened before as far as we know. The idea of the Flood releasing an infection form directly from an attack into a wounded victim. So they think that that is a unique form of the Flood. And I honestly agree with them, because that's fucking cool.
Let's move to maintenance. Clarence, come on, let's go.
Yeah, definitely need the flamer for sure. No mercy. That's a cool thing to put on your uniform. But here's the thing. Instead of bayonets, a lot of them Marines just have combat knives, like you can see here.
Orlov, report. Betty. There's the door. Damn it.
Yeah, you never want to see your friend look like that.
Face, look.
My God.
So, John, tell me what I'm looking at.
The Covenant gets sick too. We noticed this in some of them. Any prisoners displaying the symptoms were kept in isolation, just in case. We took precautions, every precaution against it. Every precaution. It made them aggressive, savage. We did some tests, managed to isolate it. An alien virus.
What the hell, man? We've been standing here breathing around this thing?
It doesn't work like that.
Did it jump from Covenant to human?
It did.
What an incredible series of scenes, TBH. Again, just like Aliens. Did it jump from Covenant from human? It did, and then she comes back to life. Such a fucking great scene. I think Combat Evolved has some of the best indications of how this works, but Halo 3 has the best indication of what it looks like when you turn into a combat form, because you can see them kind of bubble up with the Flood supercell, and then it expands and turns into weaponry.
I knew.
Yeah. The air microspawns are a pretty unique thing from the Forerunner days. I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to carry on into further series, at least it's implied that that isn't the case. But you are right that that is a thing during the Forerunner years. I think that might be something unique to the Gravemind, or possibly the more heightened Flood species that came with the Forerunner infection.
Sergeant, I'm not the enemy.
Uh-huh. So, I guess you're trying to tell me that one of the infected Covenant prisoners got out and dragged some of the crew into this here closet to curl up and nap.
I guess.
Mahmoud, get the door.
It's locked, Sarge.
Be my guest.
This is another unique one here, some kind of grabber.
Shut the door!
Physical violence! Yeah!
Don't shoot! He's not infected. It's okay. Don't shoot. My name is Patrick Rimmer. I'm a prisoner, but I wasn't in for anything serious, I swear.
Unironically, the best character in this entire fucking movie.
That's a Covenant you're protecting. Why the crap should we care if he's infected?
He's a Sangheili, you racist. Use his preferred word.
Or not.
Please, guys, please. Don't kill him. You gotta understand. He's cool. We're cool. He is my friend. He's the only one I've had to talk to. The only one. He's cool. He's clean. He's cool. He's clean.
Oh, I prefer the ancient aliens. They are not ancient humans. I've always been of the opinion that they're ancient aliens. Makes a lot more sense.
Please, you gotta understand. You gotta understand that it isn't the Covenant's fault. Not this time. We're cool. Really.
If that Covey makes one wrong move, looks at us the wrong way even, it's dead. You got me?
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, Henry's clean. He's okay. He's cool. He's okay. Yeah. Hey, you're Marines, right? You're gonna get us out of here, right?
Excuse me? Henry? Did you just call him Henry?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know his name, but I can understand.
100% based. I love elites so much. I would be Rimmer in any universe. This is me. You know, minus the being a criminal thing. This is me.
And the thing he says, I just call him Henry, and he calls me Rimmer.
Yes, Sangheili outside of the armor, the fact that they're like the classic gray aliens, but doing steroids is great.
Of course, because that's my name. Although he doesn't really pronounce it right.
Yeah, because they don't have the jaws of normal humans, Sangheili pronounce words like Rimmer. Because the only formation they have, the only like speech center or larynx that they have is kind of based on their tongue and the formation of their lips. It describes when the Arbiter learns how to speak English, that not only does he have a heavy accent, but when he speaks, he puts his lips together like a human, and he speaks between his lips instead of speaking with his mouth open like he would when he spoke the Covenant language, which I find really interesting because it's the idea that they're emulating the human pattern of lips even though they don't have a lower jaw, which is what is actually giving them the accent, which is very interesting. Yeah, they have that kind of speech impediment, which is really cool. So it's implied in the books that they have kind of like a heavy accent, like someone who speaks traditional Chinese. So it's it's a very heavy, deep accent where they can't pronounce certain consonants correctly. But the Arbiter apparently is one of the first ones to speak it well, obviously.
Much of anything, because he can't speak our language, but he's cool. No, seriously, he's cool. Hey, there's more of you, right? You can get us back out, right?
No, wait. You tell me, what the hell were those things back there? We're not going anywhere until you tell me what they are.
He's been infected.
Infected?
I don't feel so good.
7.62, baby!
You killed Gersten. His dog tags.
Oh, forget the dog tags. You gotta rip these bodies up. Rip it up. That's not dead enough. Gotta destroy the body or they just come back.
Don't be stupid. He's dead. He's dead.
He ain't. He's infected. We gotta take him apart or he's gonna come back.
He's dead.
You can tell he's been living on here for a while. You were right. It is 7.62. 7.62 is a nice caliber, I won't lie.
You see?
Personally, having shot it a lot, I like 7.62 by 54 over 39 because I fucking love plinking with 7.62 by 54 at about 500 yards.
Not really, but they'll try to get in.
That shit's fun.
You have to move. There are more of you coming, right?
I burnt myself on my Mosin Nagant trying to fire at that distance.
That hatch too.
Just show us the way out. We'll have to chance it. You're on a prison transport, so you must be a badass. Grab Gersten's gun and use it.
Not that badass. Nobody's that badass. He touched it. I'm not touching it. I'm not going near it.
I mean, 7.62 is a fairly intermediate caliber. It's just got some high speed behind it.
What about Henry? Henry deserves a better weapon.
Let him keep his cricket bat, and he can be the one on point.
Also, where the hell did he get a cricket bat?
If he doesn't like it, tough. Henry, Rimmer, me, and Clarence, in that order. One of us drops.
We leave them, or we make sure they don't come back. Covenant are not in charge of this ship. The Flood got out.
7.62 by 51? Yeah, so it is more on par with 7.62 by 54R. Yeah. That is a nasty caliber. It's very accurate out to 500 meters. I've played around with it myself in my own hands, and it is a very, very nice caliber. It is analogous to 308 in my opinion in terms of how it shoots. Yes, Henry does deserve a better weapon. I agree.
There's no one in charge of this.
And don't worry, he gets it.
Anymore.
Never hit someone in the jaw, McCraw.
But you just did, Sarge.
How careless of me. You know what that thing was, you lying son of a bitch. Virus my ass. Mahmoud, search him again. Take off his shoes.
Agreed. Henry
Check his
is the
tidy
most
whities.
lethal person here.
Check
Henry
his damn
deserves...
body cavity.
No, so... Interesting thing, when the Covenant do test out human weapons, they seem to prefer the bullpups because it's more in line with their own firearms because it has a thumb hole, specifically that makes it easier for the elites with their 4 fingers to grab the weapons. Yes, he is a reference to Red Dwarf, yeah, he is.
Section 3, Major John Smith.
Piece of shit.
Development.
Office of Naval Intelligence
Got it.
bastard.
Officer on deck, soldiers. Why didn't you identify yourself, sir?
Let's cut the bullcrap, Sergeant. I outrank you. It doesn't matter why I didn't give you my rank to begin with. Effective immediately, we abandon ship. I cannot be infected. I'm privy to highly classified intelligence. We abandon ship, return to the Red Horse, and destroy the Mona Lisa from a safe distance. I know you had to come here on something. A pelican? Probably in the hangar right now.
Deserves the
waiting
wood
for you?
chipper.
That's an order, Sergeant.
Yeah, he's an
I
Office
have
of Naval
soldiers
Intelligence
aboard.
officer,
I cannot
maybe.
Contact, sir.
There have been many casualties in this war. There'll be many more.
There have been many casualties in this war. There will be many more. Deserved. Deserved second punch to the face.
We're going to the bridge. No spook is gonna leave my kids in the dark. Benty would haunt us if we did, and she'd be a real annoying ghost. Damn, that stings. Any questions? Yeah, McCraw?
Yep, that's pretty much their
Am I
reaction
EMT,
too.
Sarge?
Fucking frag him. I am not a supporter of killing you. Also, cool thing with these, those are all shield and stealth projectors. But I am not a supporter of fragging. However, with spooks and with specific CIA individuals during certain warfare in American history, I am not against
loss of recon
pulling a
indicates
pin
the
on
Mona
the
Lisa has been
grenade
compromised
of
beyond
that
retrieval.
individual.
The Red Horse is authorized and required
pretending
to
it's an
destroy
accident.
the ship, regardless of passengers.
Yes, Rebecca. I'm aware of our orders.
Commander, the lack of response from the Sergeant's team indicates a loss of recon. It's time to reassess the situation.
I've been given my orders,
This
but I have
fucking
not been
AI,
granted
I
any
swear to God.
information with which to assess the situation. We are to destroy the Mona Lisa if it is compromised, but by what I do not know.
Covenant.
Sergeant Lopez and her team are more than capable of handling the Covenant presence on board that ship. No,
I'm
I
not
say
going to
again,
agree with
I
that
have not been
for
given
legal
any
reasons.
information that would warrant firing on one of our own ships with our soldiers aboard. Prep a Pelican, bring up the Red Horse.
However,
I suspect
this
you
is
could
war.
tell me what I need to know, and I suspect you will not. Thus, I see no alternative but to conduct further
What is the
recon.
point of an
All
AI
right,
that
we
doesn't
do
listen
send
to
our soldiers
shit?
to their deaths, but we do not willingly abandon our own, Rebecca. We do not turn and leave them.
You're getting spittle on my projector.
Once I have all the facts, then I'll reassess the situation. And part of that reassessment will be to determine if you are fit for duty, given your current conduct. Your activation date was, as I recall, more than 6 years ago.
Okay.
I remember reading this,
Somewhere private, Commander.
I think,
I have something to show
in one of
you.
the books, and it was a very
Something
good scene.
you won't want your crew to see.
It was either Rebecca or Athena or another similar AI. That was a great scene. Nah, fuck fuck new Cortana. I do not believe in that AI uprising bullshit. That didn't make sense to begin with. Rip Burgundy.
Please take me back to the Pelican.
More
I know
combat
you
lipstick
I
for
know
real.
You can hear me. You don't want to do this. Please, please help me. If you just put me down, I could do the rest. I can find the Sarge. I can explain it was a mistake.
Hell of a big virus.
Not a virus, more of an infestation. It came with the Covenant prisoners and just spread. The more bodies they took over, the more...
Taking over bodies?
The Flood. Their infection forms get under a person's skin, making them a host. Then it begins to assimilate them entirely. It wipes their memories.
Flood
but
supercell.
retains some of their knowledge. Once the Flood completely controls host bodies, right down to a cellular level, it transforms them into a weapon. A form infected by Flood is difficult to stop. They don't register pain, don't require all organs functioning, are fueled by such rage that even when disabled, they're extremely dangerous, mindless as animals, less than animals. Concealed door. There's a scanner at eye level here.
So helpful all of a sudden.
The sooner you get to the bridge, the sooner I get off this ship. This leads to the labs. We can get through from here.
Mahmoud?
I'm looking. Okay, here. It looks like ventilation shafts leading... Yeah, there's a couple other access points. We can get to the bridge through here.
Oh yeah, the labs. That's always a
What are you
smart
doing
place to
here?
go.
I told you, research and development, like Oni's always done. You should be thanking
Oh
me.
yeah, the Flood is
Came
worse
up
than the
with some interesting
Necromorphs.
data
At least the
that will help us
Necromorphs have
maximize
like
the
a
damage
solid
inflicted by our
logical
weapons.
reason and a psychological,
They've
you know,
developed a natural
aspect to them.
resistance to the
The
radiation
Flood is just a
caused by
fucking
the weapon.
infection.
Forced evolution.
Way worse.
With further research.
Also,
we'll be
honestly, a
able to against
Necromorph versus a Flood
help us
infection
with plasma
form?
burns, too.
Nope.
Yeah, right.
Nope.
What about
I
the
think the
Flood?
combat forms
Flood
have a better
is
advantage.
pure, of
Especially the
intent.
pure strain. My god.
Relentless, almost primordial.
Dude, the
And
tier
this
3
like
Flood
a
are
virus spreads
horrible.
as fast as one. I had to study it. We had to study it. So we used Covenant.
Alright.
Talking.
I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes
We were
and I'll
looking
be
for
right back, alright?
weaknesses, a cure.
Anything. Let you enjoy the next
We
few
only had
minutes
one
by
infected
yourself,
planet.
alright? Give me one.
We needed to see how it worked, how it spread. Just... It's strong. It's so strong.
You were testing on prisoners?
Such measures will be what wins us the war. Don't tell me you're getting soft for an alien race now, Sergeant. We face extinction. We have to win this war, no matter what the cost.
You weren't trying to cure Coveys. This is a prison ship. A civilian prison ship. You were testing on human prisoners.
It's a big bad universe, Sergeant. Covenant aren't the worst of them. You've done what you thought was necessary. And now, so have I.
Sorry about that. I'm back. Sorry, y'all hear me alright? Apologies for that. I just had to take a minute to deal with something. I am back. Skip ahead here. Yeah, Flood wins that fight officially. I'd agree with that for real.
Where the hell are we?
Guards team room? God's waiting room? I didn't really get a tour of the ship, you know.
You said Flood before. What did you mean?
Some uniform came on board. He was with Oni. After that, we weren't allowed out of our cells. I think they brought the Coveys on board then. We could hear them talking. Could smell them, too. Sorry, Henry.
Honestly, the fact that it's only elites is a little weird.
Not even the guards knew what was going on. We made some slip space jump to here, wherever here is. They started taking people, you know. And Coveys. They didn't seem to care if we saw the Coveys then.
Look at this motherfucker's back muscles. Holy hell. Dude, I would pay so much money for whatever steroids gave me a lat spread that massive. This dude probably can deadlift like 3 times his own body weight. That is a secondary sectioning of muscle on his back. This dude is ripped, and he spent months in prison. That is insane.
I think they figured we weren't going anywhere, and it didn't matter what we knew. The aircon on this ship, you know how it is. It carries the noise.
Yeah, believe in massive gains. Because here's the thing. The one time they talk about and they describe what the elites eat, it's like a bunch of basically red meat. And I'm like, holy shit, yeah. These dudes are just getting protein. Oh, yeah, no, it is 100% natural. Look at this. Seriously, look at his neck muscles, jaw muscles. Man's like 100% got like a 90-degree jaw muscle. And then look at all this back muscle. He's practically got like alligator-level strength back there. Massive chest, well-defined arms, not an ounce of fat on this dude. Considering that this is what like a Holocaust victim would have looked like for the elites, dude, how strong must he have been before that? Holy hell.
Asshole named Murray. He found out about the Flood. Some new biological weapon. I don't know, something they were studying. Here. With us. Something happened, I don't know. I think the Coveys made a break for it or something. And in all the chaos, I guess the Flood got out. Coveys let some of us out too, which might surprise you, but by then we'd all been through the same stuff. We all got the same fate on this ship.
And you've been hiding ever since?
A day, I think. Maybe 2. You lose track of time real fast around here.
I bet.
We gotta get off this ship. Soon, you know?
What's down there?
Yes, very based Covenant.
I think the engines are behind. We should find a different way.
What for?
That's where they took all the dead. It'd be like going into an angry beehive.
That one's on me, not you.
God damn, what a badass. This is why I think she might be an ODST, especially because she's got the different armor, but still. What a badass.
Let's move.
You know what? Give me like 1 second. I'm going to try and calculate. Hey, Sparty, does it say what the velocity is on that 7.62/51 round? Because what's the velocity on 7.62/54? 7.62/54 velocity. because I want to calculate the armor penetration on that thing. It's around 820 meters per second. So what's the armor pen? Armor pen. Oh, sorry, I'll let it run.
I heard something.
Talk to me. Give me a flare. Shit. Sing, go for the legs. McCraw, take out the heart. And I got the head.
So, statistics-wise, the average 7.62, 0.006 kilogram, 825 meter per second round will penetrate 10 millimeters of solid steel armor. So that's not bad for a solid round. See, theoretically, that's supposed to be a pure strain, I believe, but either way, very, very cool to see how an infected elite can be so strong.
Where to, Sarge?
Objective hasn't changed, kid.
Henry was the one who sprung me out. There was one of the guards. She's been...
Yeah, it is a lot like The Flesh That Hates. Is that SCP-812 or something?
He's a good guy, really.
Maybe I'll do an SCP video one of these days. I do like SCP a lot, but I'm not that intelligent about it, so...
They take what you know and learn.
Give it a good smack, Henry.
Thanks, Henry.
Where the hell are they coming from? Die, you bastard!
Henry is very based. 406? What is 406 again? Because it's been a while since I looked through the list. You know, maybe I should do an SCP video. That'd be very nice. I like SCP. So, yeah, what a great image. God, I love the idea of elites and humans working together, and I'm sad that we didn't get more of it in Halo. Because theoretically, after the Human Covenant War, we had made an alliance with the Arbiter and with the new elites and the new Covenant. And we just never really got it outside of like a few seconds in Halo 5, and that was handled very poorly.
We haven't been able to defeat the Covenant in nearly 3 decades. And yet here we are. We've returned here for the sole purpose of seeking this out. This greater threat.
I don't believe it was in the original brief. The Oni agent heading the research project aboard the Mona Lisa seems
I don't
to
know
have
that one,
exceeded
buddy.
his parameters
You're beyond my mentality.
significantly. And we still don't know for sure.
Is there any more?
No. But now you understand. We cannot deploy any more Marines.
You don't want to spoil? As if I'm not going to read it myself and spoil it for myself, but yeah, fair point.
The Red Horse.
Send me the link if you want. You have my direct contact. You can give me a text message, so send it to me if you want me to read it.
We do not willingly abandon our own.
Sarge, the door!
I see it.
Fractured Minds? Yeah, I will check it out. Containment Breach, SCP Containment Breach also saw its final update a couple of months ago, so I was going to look into that as well. Man, this bridge sure seems nice and taken care of.
Sensing a pattern here.
Don't think anyone's gonna use the nav system. Guess we can go home now?
Almost there, McCraw. Let's scan for intel before we move on.
Looks like communications is intact.
Good. Give me radio contact then. I don't care how, and I don't care who. Benty, Burgundy, the Red Horse. Hell, raise the damn Covenant ship. Just get me someone to talk to. Private, get to it.
Yes, sir. We need security clearance to access this comms.
Let's see if they'll throw me in the brig for impersonating an officer. Now get cracking.
Ah, behold, a proto-grave mind. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I'll look at that in a bit. Rest in peace, Burgundy. So beautiful in life, so beautiful in death. Yeah, burn it all for real, because it's trying to hijack the fucking slip space drive. Stop making us whole. No more making us whole. Look at this big old continent artificially built into the side of the ring. Very cool.
I think... yeah. I got a signal, Sarge. Booyah!
You got the Red Horse?
She's talking, oh yeah, she's talking.
What about Benty and Burgundy?
I couldn't raise either of them, but the intercom is online in most of the ship.
Patch this through. Maybe someone will hear.
Thank you very much, Sparty. I appreciate it.
This is the UNSC Red Horse to the Mona Lisa. Come in, Mona Lisa.
Why not infect Benty first? I mean, mostly because they're in a different location, but also because Burgundy was just a pilot, but yeah.
What's going on?
You gotta find some way to turn that off. It'll enrage them. They go crazy when they hear something that might be food. Yeah, they go crazy. They'll look for where it's coming from and...
I repeat, this is the UNSC Red Horse to the Mona
Also,
Lisa.
Benty has,
Come
you
in,
know,
Mona
Henry
Lisa.
guarding her, so, you know.
Anyone hear me?
Loud and clear, Rebecca. Is the commander there?
I am. The situation here is...
Sir, I got all the recon you'll ever need. This ship is Oni, with a certain Major John Smith most recently in charge. Section 3 sent it here to experiment with the flood encountered on Halo. Oni might not have known about all of Major Smith's project enhancements, but at the very least they came to secure a sample so they could study it. And
Gotcha,
they brought
buddy,
guinea
gotcha.
pigs with them too. Under his orders, they've been deliberately infecting human prisoners and Covenant prisoners too. Coveys and civilians, our own. Infecting them and turning them into these damn monsters, these zombies. And no one told us.
I like that they use the phrase zombies, because it's difficult to tell whether or not they understand that in the real canon.
The Major Smith you refer to is en route to the Red Horse, in your Pelican. He has informed us of the situation.
Sir.
Major Smith did fail to mention that any of you had survived.
Bastard!
He's a liar, and a traitor, and a war criminal. Everyone who died on this ship, my kids, the crew, if not for him, they might still be alive.
Rebecca has verified his story.
I'm gonna kill that son of a bitch.
Having witnessed this flood firsthand, Sergeant, what's your assessment? If it were to reach one of the outer colonies, for example.
I'm not paid to think, sir. Remember.
Nevertheless.
We have no defense against such a foe. Any planet infected by the flood would be overrun in a matter of days. More food for the flood. More knowledge of where to find food. They retain all useful information. You know this to be true. The flood represents the greatest threat to humanity since the Covenant. A cure must be sought.
A cure? There is no goddamn cure. According to the files, this was never about a cure. This was about control. About creating mindless monster soldiers you could control. Who knows what Smith was doing that isn't in the record? But a cure? If you'd seen what we've seen...
We have, Sergeant. We have. Our orders are to destroy the Mona Lisa. We can't allow any of the Flood to survive. Rebecca has informed me that there are 2 remaining escape pods on the lower deck. The launching mechanisms appear disabled, so they may need manual releasing. Once Major Smith is on board, you will have until we are in position and the Shiva missile is armed and...
So the Shiva is essentially an intercontinental ballistic missile with a nuclear warhead. It's the biggest thing that the Red Horse has on board.
Then we will open fire. We can't delay any further. The Major has brought the attention of the Covenant capital ship upon us. 8, maybe 10 minutes, Sergeant. Good luck.
You know what you can do with your luck.
Dude, that's so many infected. Holy hell. I apologize, we're probably not going to have time for another animation after this. Sorry. It's already been a bit. But then again, this is probably the longest movie we're going to watch. Okay, we can skip past this, thank you.
That went out over the ship's comm?
Yeah, it should've.
Let's hope someone was alive to hear it. Hustle. We'll blow through some space zombies, get cozy in a pod, and we're gonna live, McCraw. We're gonna live. And we're gonna get back to the Red Horse. And then we're gonna tear the commander a new one. 2 new assholes. One for you and one for me.
2 new assholes. One for you and one for me.
Take our time with him. And then when we're done with him, then what?
And then there's shore leave, Sarge.
Damn straight.
Damn straight. Welcome back, Syndicalist. It's good to have you back. The big advantage of the MA5B really is its firepower per person. It has so much firepower. It's such a nice gun, too. Low recoil, low resistant recoil with its gas system. Such a good gun.
We have to destroy it.
Oh, I promised one of our subscribers that they were gonna get a Halo weapon video, and I wasn't lying about that. I will do a Halo weapon video at some point soon.
We have to take care of it.
As a break from all the Navy stuff that I've been doing.
We don't want to mess with that.
It's a Shaw Fujikawa drive, by the way, but yes, it is a slip-to-safe drive as well. This bitch got so many grenades. She's the only one to use grenades so far, and she's got 3 of them, and there were none of them on her uniform, so God knows where she got these things. Yeah, all of them, nope. It's so fucked up.
Major Smith.
Also, yeah, look, Covenant carrier.
What should we do with him?
Let's keep him in solitary for a while.
Doesn't it help to know the Major may have acted on his own? Oni isn't responsible for this. This was never meant to happen, and the very fact we're here shows that Oni is acting in good faith. He'll be court-martialed. Maybe even worse.
He should just be shot.
No, it doesn't. Smith may have acted on his own, as you say, or he may have been following orders, and Section 3 will now use him as a scapegoat and wash their hands of the matter.
Oh yeah, always. Oni is always responsible. Always. Every single time it's their fault. Every time.
Circumstances, Oni's operative won't let them get to the pods.
We don't even know if he's still alive.
Commander, picking up a detonation within the transport. I think the slip space engine has been ruptured. We need to withdraw before it goes completely. Sir, we need to withdraw to a safe distance.
No. Not yet.
Sir.
No. We stay. We stay until the last second. We don't abandon our own.
It's always a fight between the Navy officers and the Office of Naval Intelligence, which I'm happy we don't have in our modern day, because it would be a fight between the CIA and between the NavSecCom for the U.S. military, and I'm glad we don't have that. But in Halo, it's a fight between Oni and the UNSC all the time.
The most important thing is the pods. At least we have somewhere to run to. He's a lousy shot.
You evil and unethical organization. Yeah. This is kind of the point. Yeah. Yeah, that's not surprising. Oni is much like the CIA. They don't forget or forgive very easily.
Clarence, and some survivors. One deck to go.
Get your ass to gear. This ship isn't gonna wait.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Henry. You're a badass. You got this, Henry. I believe in you.
2 pods. 2 of us, some of them. What are we gonna do?
Benji's taking her sweet time. It's those short legs.
Sarge, we're coming.
Again.
Don't shoot.
God
Please don't shoot.
damn. Lopez.
Sarge?
Don't shoot. Henry's okay.
That's a
Don't
fellow
shoot.
officer.
Not
Yeah,
take
based
your
Henry.
finger off that trigger.
We do. We love Henry here. I agree.
What's this Covey bastard doing here? You said survivors.
Rest in peace, Rimmer. You were a real one. McCraw just fucks off, grabs his own pod.
You're Oni. You've got to be.
Oni? I'm not surprised.
Nothing personal. There were never meant to be any survivors. Venti, get down. You can walk. Henry, put her down.
So that's Clarence. Clarence is an Oni spook, of course.
Benty, you're hurt. Bad. Clarence, drop your rifle. It's 2 against 1.
Henry can have my short leave.
Benty!
No!
Now it comes down to it. I agree. Henry deserves shore leave.
But there's only one pod.
There's only one pod. And it comes down to it.
Alright.
Lopez has to fight a fucking elite. Alright, so opinions. Who wins that fight? I'm not gonna lie, I think Henry gets away. Share it? I don't think she fits in there with an elite. That would be a pretty tight squeeze, in my opinion. So, Midnight Heart of Midlothian is the next one, but it's another 20 minutes. And I don't think we've already been live for an hour and a half. So I think we have to stop there. I'm sorry. We will get back and we will stream another day. But for the moment, I think that's good. Are you all good? Any questions before we finish off? Yeah, I think Henry wins that fight, honestly. I think Henry probably gets out. Share it? It doesn't matter, share it. Guys, it's not that type of comic. We don't get to we don't get to see them squished together. Johnson. Her name is Lopez, 1. Number 2, I'm not sure if she wants to hug the elite. Oh, God. Fair point, fair point. So, are we good, or you guys want to keep going? I'll leave it up to you, because we've had no problem with the series, so you want to keep going? Or we've had no problem with the stream so far. I can real quick check the health. No, stream's doing well, honestly. Like, for the last time it kind of crapped out twice on us, it's doing fine. You can keep going? Alright, cool. We'll move on to Midnight Heart of Midlothian, and then we'll do Headhunters next time. Midnight Heart of Midlothian is my second favorite. It's one of the best animations. Again, same art style as before. I'm just out of water, so my throat's going to start to hurt. Not that that's a problem, because the alcohol has done its job so far. Little SMG. Love a good SMG. Also, I love how all the animations make the plasma weapons look like they're fully automatic, even if they're like plasma pistols and shit. Investigate planet Algolis. Destroy prototype weapons facility, etc. Excuse me. Hiccups. I've drunk like a gallon of booze, isn't that fair? Based Irish dude? Yes, it is. The Troglodyte. My favorite. Yes. Dude, this is one of the best animations, like, ever. It's only a two-parter, but it is great.
It's just cancer.
It's just cancer. Sorry, I'm gonna turn on.
I mean, it's just cancer. A very simple cancer that hasn't spread or metastasized and is eminently operable.
I don't mean to sound rude, Doc.
Oh, I'm not a doctor. I'm a medical technician.
Whatever. What I'm saying is that I don't know what cancer is.
In the future, we don't know what cancer is. What a glorious thing in Halo. Oh my god. The idea that cancer is just like the common cold, and it can be removed in that way. I recently lost a family member to cancer, and it just, the idea of this future tech making cancer such an irrelevancy, it feels really good to just get that kind of escapism from this. I do want to live in that future, I agree.
I gotcha. Cancer is kind of, slow burn, localized infection, kind of.
Yeah, they call it a localized infection because nobody knows about it.
22nd century.
22nd century. So Halo makes the claim that about 175 years from now, cancer will become a piece of the past. Which, you know, we hope for that future. For real. We do. I pray to God that my great-grandchildren one day will not understand what cancer is.
Anyway, it's easy to treat, but you're gonna have surgery.
What for? I thought you said it's an infection. Can't you just irradiate or drug it?
Yes, and we're gonna do both of those. But to be sure we get all of it, and don't have you back here next month, we have to remove some tissue.
What kind of tissue?
Nothing you need for a date.
Oh, there'll be plenty of us left in 100 years. If you don't believe humanity is going to last more than 175 years, you need to look at our past, my friend. We've suffered much worse things than we're ever looking at in the modern day.
Sweat it.
You want to look at the Black Death that kills off 3/4 of the human race in a certain portion of time. We bounce back from that in less than 2 generations.
Crap. What a bastard arse of a morning.
Look at how ripped this dude... Like, this is supposed to be the average ODST. Look how fucking massive he is. This dude looks like Henry. He's just... His shoulder muscles. The dude's traps are bigger than his actual head. My god, I would love to look like this.
Moye, how come I have cancer?
Nothing in your civilian, marine, or ODST record to suggest any particular genetic preponderance, but it happens from time to time. Perhaps you're just a throwback, Baird. It would explain that Cro-Magnon brow of yours.
Yeah, they call him Baird, and he's got a Cro-Magnon brow because he looks like a Neanderthal. Or sorry, Cro-Magnon, different thing.
Well, ma.
Like, the sketch image of this is so damn cool. I love this animation style.
High school nickname was Captain Caveman, you know.
Captain Caveman!
Don't worry about the surgery, Baird. It really is trivial.
Baird is the most Scottish name ever.
The autosurgeon will be done in less than an hour, but you'll be under for significantly more than that. It's a straightforward, but invasive procedure. I'll be observing and can retain a vid for you if you...
How can I have a cough? Well, okay. We see Cortana and other AI at certain times instigate some sort of metaphysical reaction to data information. For example, we see Cortana shiver in some of the books when she's absorbing Covenant information or things that she doesn't want to hear or see. There's also the more recent Red AI from Halo Wars, who literally has the equivalent of, like, PTSD. So it is clear that the Halo AI do not act or react mechanically. They're much more based on a human analog, and they react accordingly.
You want to see the procedure after you wake up?
No, thanks.
They also sometimes do it out of respect for the humans around them. So there's a mention of the AI on Harvest, both of them doing things that they consider idiosyncratic or wrong, just because it makes the humans around them feel more comfortable, and they know that.
I'll be seeing plenty of blood and guts where we're going.
Let's hope not. Intelligence is rough, but we're not expecting trouble. Just a lot of rubble.
When will I be back on duty?
2 days by rule, but you'll be happy in ambulatory in the morning. Now, go to...
Yeah, so made via a brain scan doesn't actually mean that you have emotions. And this is something that's kind of a common misconception with AI. It's the idea that if we copy exactly what a human brain does, the AI will have the same reaction. That's not necessarily how it works. It will take a snapshot of the human brain, so maybe at the time it could understand what emotions you were feeling, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it will be able to modulate and react the same way that the human brain does to emotion, because as thinking, conscious creatures, we react to emotions in a way that a machine couldn't understand. Okay, glad to have you back. We're doing another animation because you guys are crazy and want to do extra. Yeah, I wouldn't want to copy a human brain either. Like, I mean, well, you want to copy the architecture in terms of, like, technology, because it's better than anything else. You know, the human brain can hold more information and react to more information than any circuit we've ever created of the same size. But outside of that, yeah, it's difficult. I read this one, too, which is very nice.
What's happening?
I'll tell you as you move, but right now, if you don't put on some clothes and do as I say, you will be dead in a couple of minutes. They were waiting for us as we dropped out of slip space.
Covenant?
Yes, a small group. Not a formation we've encountered before, at least according to my records. 1 cruiser and 4 completely new ships escorting it. All dark gray, no surface features or lights, and no weapon systems that I could discern. What they did have was a belly full of boarding...
Yeah, he's incredibly jacked. He is an ODST, though. And ODSTs are fucking steroid monsters.
Craft. And our only contact group was not there.
So we were boarded?
Almost as soon as we dropped out of slip space. Perfect targeting, as if they knew exactly where we were going to exit, inside the range of our weapon systems before I could react. Punctured the hull in 200 different locations, and swarmed us before we could sound a general alarm.
Yeah, just such a quick reaction force. This is supposed to be one of the first examples of the Covenant adapting to the human position and getting their own kind of specialized force involved. I think there's even a theory that there was an Arbiter set up at the time whose job this was, or some other specialized elite, but it's rare that the Covenant have this level of coordination.
It was like exiting in the middle of a meteor storm.
What about the crew? What about the men?
Dead.
All of them?
Shh. They're still here, and I suspect they're heading here to Medbay for another look. This is happening too fast.
How long was I out?
23 hours, and that's why you're still alive.
Why didn't they just destroy the ship? What do they want?
Me and Earth. The boarding craft was full of troops, grunts, jackals, and several elites. They had operated like shock troops. The crew never stood a chance. They couldn't even reach a weapon. It had been a slaughter. Almost every sidearm and firearm aboard had been secured in one of the ships. Those who had fought back did so with the sidearms of fallen masters at arms, and the weapons dropped by the Covenant boarding party. Few had died well, and those who lingered had been executed. You had been spared by narcotic slumber. The Covenant had gone from deck to deck, looking for either movement or simple life signs. Your pulse and vitals had apparently slipped under whatever criteria the Covenant sought.
So what the hell are they doing?
They're half melted by the time of Halo 3, but before that point, they're a lot better organized than you'd give them credit for.
They're trying to extract me from the ship. And then they're going to try and extract Earth's location from me. By hook or by crook.
What about the Cole Protocol? Aren't you supposed to destroy the ship or self-terminate?
I can't self-terminate. I already tried. When they boarded, they brought something new with them.
Hurragok! So we got engineers here. Nice image of these guys. They're kind of semi-organic supercomputers. Very cool.
Things they call engineers. I'm not sure what they are precisely, but they're semi-organic. The first thing they did was separate me from the core systems. A splinter of my persona is out here with you, but the bulk of my memories and sheer processing power are locked in computing on the bridge.
Yes, I also feel very sorry for the engineers, especially after reading Contact Harvest. I love engineers.
I can't access myself. This fragment of me is just a hunk I chipped off to monitor your surgery. And it was severed along with my access to security, engines, navigation, all the useful stuff. I'm not exactly running at full capacity here. This is a seriously smart group.
Yeah, so these are supposed to be spec obsoletes, and I think, like, again, I think because of how advanced these guys are, they're supposed to represent the Arbiter.
I'll be honest, my own...
Or they're supposed to represent something specifically ordered by the Prophets, maybe related to an Arbiter.
Baker probably couldn't pull off that trick.
Who are these bastards?
I have no idea who these bastards are, but they appear to be a Covenant intelligence and interdiction group.
Yep.
Discreet black ops.
Because that's a fucking bomb attached to their bag.
Connected to the discovery of Algolis's prototype armory. They've got us cornered. I can't access the ship's security. I'm almost blind. I can't even display my avatar. I have to assume they're going to realize both of us are here sooner or later.
Why not blow the ship? Cook the whole goose?
2 reasons. Firstly, in my present state of coherence and security clearance, I'm hamstrung by a default factory safety precaution. Asimov's first law of robotics.
I don't know why Asimov's first law applies to AI. I mean, I understand it in our day why Asimov's first law applies to AI, but usually it's Asimov's first law of robotics. This is not a robot. This is artificial intelligence in its most genuine form. And the idea that this is some sort of underwrite to the AI, especially to a military AI, doesn't make sense to me. Like, I can understand it from a logic and morality standpoint, but in this exact scenario, I feel like after the Cole Protocol, this should have been adjusted for.
I cannot, under any circumstances, harm or by inaction cause harm to come to a human. When running at full capacity, I can ignore that one at will. I used to ignore it all the time, in fact.
Bugger. And secondly?
Secondly, the self-destruct permissions and sequences are locked away with the other half of me. I can't access them anyway.
Does the Asimov thingy...
Rule of robotics?
Yes. Does the Asimov thingy only count for humans?
Of course. I don't feel terribly responsible for Covenant safety, Baird.
So what do you have access to?
Some doors. And a lot of meds.
So we don't know if anyone is out there.
Not until we open the door. It would be prudent to assume your awakened state has shown up on their scans. They were scanning for life signs when they swept the ship.
And the plan if there's nobody out there?
You make your way aft, get to the engine room, and manually instigate an attraction coordinate. We've been through the procedure. You've read it back to me. It will work. You'll escape in a lifeboat. The ship will spin up and jump into the nearest large mass. That should be the Red Giant about 14 million miles starboard. That ought to cook their goose.
Aren't there safety procedures and systems to prevent this kind of shit?
There were. Lucky for us, the engineers truncated those along with my systems. It should work.
All that exploring, yeah. The flaws of the three laws of robots, yeah.
But you're not sure.
Lots of ways around it, for real. Also, I love how Bro's first instinct is to grab the first thing with a handle and use it as a weapon.
I'm only sure of the seconds leading up to my schism. But I am sure that if we don't try, they are eventually going to crack my encryption and lead the Covenant directly back to Earth. Core protocol be damned.
Okay then. Open the bloody door.
Bro straight up feels like a dragon coming out of his cave. Also, notice how they're speaking human language. Clearly some more educated Covenant here. Prepare to meet Fire Extinguisher. Also, using a fire extinguisher as a smoke bomb is based. Yeah, why do I hear boss music?
Wake up!
I'm dead.
You're not dead, but you're not in good shape. The blades passed right through you, scorched a lot of stuff. Missed your spine by a distance I can't even make myself repeat.
I feel like I'm dying.
That's not surprising. You have serious burns and significant injuries, internal and external.
So, if you don't know, the Covenant carbine that he's using, it fires the equivalent of like a radioactive slug. Sorry, the Covenant carbine is a very cool weapon. I'll go into it when I do my video on Covenant weaponry in addition to Imperial or into UNSC weaponry. But fire extinguishers, they have two sections. If it's like an ABC fire extinguisher, then they have one part that needs to be punctured in order for it to expand correctly. But the rest of it is just compressed air. So sometimes it'll bang and pop, and sometimes it'll bang, pop, and release all of the extinguisher foam. So yes, it can explode, but you basically have to hit near the neck in order for that to happen. And they're actually about like 8 millimeters thick, so you need like a rifle to penetrate them. Pistols will do it in the flat areas, but if you hit the curved area, which is where you need to hit to have it explode, there's less of a chance of you actually damaging that second container.
I'm going to give you some meds. We're going to try again.
Hey, you remember how I was talking about making a combat drug video? Yeah, this is involved in that.
I know. I'm sorry. The grunts had simply piled up the corpses.
Meds?
Yes, meds.
What are these?
A painkiller, a beta-blocking sedative, a metasteroid for the burns and interior inflammation, and a Waverly class augmenter.
What's
Waverly class augmenter. I wonder what that is.
an augmenter?
This one's a cocktail. It contains a derivative of phenocyclohexylpiperidine.
Phenocycloheplopiperidine or piflexidine.
An artificial slow-release synthetic adrenaline and a rapid coagulant. Something very similar.
Yeah, this is basically the generic combat stim that you get in 40K. It's very cool.
Similar to those that have been used by rebels in their attempt to fight Spartans on...
Again, the idea that the insurrection essentially generates a combat stim and uses it to fist fight Spartans. I fucking love the insurrection.
Hellas and fumarole.
You're talking about a rumble drug?
Rumble drug, baby! We making rumble drugs!
There's no pretty way to paint it. The effect on human physiology is impressive in the short term. Unencumbered by the body's normal safety limits, subjects could be capable of feats of enormous strength.
I had a whole thing about a regiment that used specifically these. They were called the Sons of the Black Moon. They were kind of an Uruk-hai-inspired regiment, and one of their biggest things is that they would consistently use rumble drugs as like a narcotic base. Yeah, they would do a lot of things. So for the Uruk-hai, for the Sons of the Black Moon, it would discolor their skin and give them brain damage over time. But it was only given in high doses to certain individuals, but all of them had access to it. And it was essentially a combat stim dispenser in their lower back, kind of like a bulged metal casemate, that would give them slow injections, and then some of them would get double injections, and it would dramatically increase their adrenaline levels. So it would allow them to ignore pain, exhaustion, fear, and it would give them brain damage over a certain amount of time. Yeah, roid rage, for sure. Lack of control.
And the immediate physiological damage meant that users often died long before they ever laid hands on an actual Spartan. But not
drain damage
before doing tremendous damage.
Yeah, that was the other thing with those drugs, and if you empty a lot of combat stims into yourself, you'll like shatter your own bones, because there's something in your brain in real life that keeps you from breaking your own fingers. Like, if you were to try right now, you could actually bite off your own finger without much more force than it would take to bite through a thick carrot, because the connections between our fingers aren't all that strong. I know it's a horrible image, but it is actually something we can do. But our brains keep us from doing that. There is actual limitations, psychological, to keep me from snapping off one of my fingers with my mouth or breaking it with my own hand. Your body will physically, psychologically resist it. What beta blockers and steroids can do is it can dull that inhibition, and it can make you essentially be able to hyperextend your muscles to a way that will rip them off of the bone or break bones. So it's not good for you, but it can do some serious shit. Yeah. Drugged guardsmen weren't using their brains. Yeah, pretty much. It's a nasty thing. We tried it in World War II. The US, Germany, and Italy, and Russia all tried different ways of chemically affecting soldiers. Russia would give them alcohol, the Finns and the Germans would give them methamphetamine, and the United States, we also gave them methamphetamine along with steroids in some cases. So it works, but it has very bad long-term effects on your body, and short-term effects on your brain and body as well. But the Russians would do it most often, and they did it until the end of the war. They would give conscripts and assault troops vodka, and they would get them very, very intoxicated, and then they would have them run at enemy machine gun trenches so that they wouldn't run away, because the quote-unquote assault water, vodka, was making their inhibitions lower and making them less afraid.
To themselves and anything that got in their...
I'm reading a book right now called The Siege of Budapest, and it describes Russian conscripts running at tanks and assault guns high on assault water, which is just vodka. Yes, Ivo Kuvonin, who had like 30 tabs of Pervitin and then ran straight for like a month. Dude was alive somehow at the end of it and didn't have a heart attack.
The beta blocker will keep you focused and calm.
The plan this time?
Same as before.
Yeah, so like the drugs that are used for Eversores, one of them pumps you up, one of them keeps your mind even. So you need to pump in narcotics into the body, especially of the Eversore, because the cocktail that would be put in them normally is just straight up lethally toxic to a normal human being. So you need other narcotics to help counteract them.
Oh yeah?
Yes, Dad?
Why didn't you try to inject me with the autosurgeon? The syringe at least looked like it would still work.
Because, like I told you before, in this condition, I can't do anything to harm a human.
I understand. How long do I have?
I can't say. With the drugs, maybe an hour or two. Without them, you'd be dead sooner, which is the only thing letting me even tell you about the meds.
Then there's no time to waste.
Dad, once you leave the med
What a monster.
you're on your own. I'm trapped
Look at
here,
his neck.
dumb and useless
Look at his
till they
neck.
reconnect my system.
He's built
And I
like a
don't see
fucking
any
truck.
reason why they're going to do that.
I don't know why they left all these weapons here. The carbine, the plasma pistol.
I wish I could do something more.
Then
Grabs scalpel with malicious intent.
wish me luck with Plan B.
Mana built like a king. He is built like Kingpin. He is. He's just a monster. If we cross the White Death and Ivo, we just make the White Death worse. Remember, Ivo barely kills anyone while he's in his, like, meth-addled state. He just manages to survive. Ivo kills, like, 210 separate individuals, multiple of which are, like, advanced snipers who are sent in to kill him. The White Death is way more deadly and a better soldier than Ivo Kuvonen. No offense. But, like, he's one of the most deadly snipers in human history. Why not just open the door? Why blow a hole in the door?
Shit. Plan B.
Yeah. POV, you're about to have the worst day of your fucking short life. Dude just got pistol whipped to death with a Covenant carbine. Scotland for a very long amount of time. Nothing lasts forever. Halo and Warhammer, they give women soldiers the same stop periods like G.I. Jane? Some stop periods? Like G.I. Jane? What do you mean? What exactly do you mean by that? If you're talking about, like, the Imperial Guard accepting women, there are very specific situations where women are in the IG, and they're not generally in it. What do you mean, like breaks? What are you talking about, Bowman?
This is how people freeze to death. What exactly are you doing, Ben? What's Plan B?
Oh, okay. So, here's the thing. We know from Jessie Banda and from other Imperial Guard women that there are not many considerations for the monthly cycle with the Imperial Guard. However, the Imperial Guard don't deploy all that often. Remember, there are lots of regiments. There are full female regiments, which means that your commander and your soldiers and officers are going to be at that time at regular intervals throughout all engagements. So they probably wouldn't get time off or periods of downtime during that cycle. So no, that's very unlikely. In mixed regiments, there might be considerations for that, but I highly doubt it because the Imperial Guard expects you to be always ready to go. So I doubt that there is a way to affect that within the Imperial Guard. No. It is most likely simply accounted for by giving you narcotics to help keep you up and focused. And more likely, it's just dealt with by, you know, just dealing with it. Like, it's a lot of just embrace the suck, unfortunately. But on the positive side, a lot of women are often together in the Imperial Guard. So you will have full female regiments where everyone knows the struggle. And so they understand if Sergeant or Private so-and-so is, it's that time for them. They will probably be a little bit more considerate. But in scratch regiments and combined regiments, I doubt you get time off or anything like that, no. And there probably aren't drugs for it either, most likely.
Charge into the bridge and ask them to throw down their weapons. Fix Moyer with less than an hour to live and only the barest grasp of how an AI even works. I will make sure that these motherfuckers root the day they boarded the ship and take their precision operation and turn it into an embarrassing and memorable clusterfuck.
I would like to hear that again.
I will make sure that these motherfuckers root the day they boarded the ship.
I will make sure that these motherfuckers rule the day they boarded this ship and turn their precision operation into a horribly memorable clusterfuck.
Precision operation and turn it into an embarrassing and memorable clusterfuck.
What an actual Arnold Schwarzenegger line. For real. This dude is just like canon Arnold Schwarzenegger. Except Arnold is Austrian, and this guy is supposed to be Scottish. The accent is weirdly similar. Baird versus Henry, who wins? No offense, if we're talking the armament that they canonically have in both versions, I think Baird fucking wins, because he's got a rifle. And the Covenant Carbine is way better at taking down elites than the MA5B is at taking down humans. Yeah. Lifting 500 pounds and roid accent. Yep. Dude just disappears like the fucking Predator. He just got taken. He just disappears. Just instantaneously. He was talking to his friend 1 second. The next second he's received God same day shipping. What spiritual pressure. Bro just slit his throat and then fucking lays him down like he's playing Solid Snake. That's the roids talking. This is literally the boss music. He's just kind of thumping towards the door, wipes the blood on his wrist, or wipes the blood on his thigh. Yeah. True, very true.
Hey, you! I can give you the Earth coordinates. I can give you the Earth coordinates. All I ask is that you let me go. Let me take a lifeboat. Let me live. You have to reconnect the ship's AI system. She has the coordinates. She'll obey me, but not you.
See, my question is, if these guys are so advanced and they're so specialized, they have all this tech, why the hell can't they speak his language? This is supposed to be well after Reach. Why can't they speak his language? I wonder.
Good to have you back, if only for a moment.
Dude, look at his neck. This man is made entirely of cinder blocks and sinew.
I need you to give them this.
When I talk about the average, or the above average Marine being like 120% of human strength, this is what I'm talking about.
Slip space coordinates for Earth. Moyer, these creatures want Earth's location. Are you reconstituted enough to give them access to those
Meat man.
Coordinates?
Baird, I have access to all the ship systems now, but they are being careful. They think you're trying to trick them, What we talked about in the medbay is still true. I can't override the first law in my current condition.
Security clearance, robot. Passcode, Asimov.
No. Baird, wait.
What a fucking punch. Dude, as someone who's done a lot of combat sports, this shit.
Baird, wait.
From a loaded position, hand back behind his back, arm ripped, back muscles angled. Underneath the arm, twists his whole 120 or 230 pounds into this one hook and slams right into the side of his jaw. Watch this fucking punch. Just an open hand bitch slap to this little split jaw's face. God damn. Look at that back muscle. That shit hurts. Very much. How else should men die better? You are so fucking right. Sook or just some sort of righteous smack, because it is brutal. And it throws what is probably a 280-pound elite across the fucking room. And it basically breaks his jaw. Dude smacks him so fucking hard.
Well, you stupid asshole. Think you can do it right this time?
Also, I don't know why this dude has blue armor. I think it's like this is why I think he might be the Arbiter, because it's supposed to be gray. But only a miner would wear blue, and miners never have powers or energy swords. Is the stream frozen? Oh no, I hope not.
Code accepted. Self-destruct sequence.
Yeah,
initiated.
punch through the fucking sound
4
barrier.
minutes and counting.
Come get some, split lip.
No need for countdown.
Hilarious. There's no fucking need for a countdown. Screw you guys. She's just laughing evilly. Oh, god damn it. God, what a good animation. Is that it? Alright. I think that's it. That's all that I got in me for today. We got one more. For next time, we'll watch Headhunters and maybe another one. Okay. Well, if it's lagging, that's fine. It's okay to get the last, like, 5 minutes to lag. I wish you all a lovely good night. Are there any questions before we sign off? I don't think so, especially because we got some lag going on here. So, either way, it's been an absolute pleasure. You guys are great. So good to see you back here. And I wish you